My name's Paul, I'm the co-founder and CEO of Climate Edge. So we're building an agricultural specific CRM, or customer relationship manager, which helps businesses deliver valuable products and services to the 500 million smallholder farmers across the globe that don't have access to the internet. So smallholder agriculture is an enormous industry. As I said, that's 500 million smallholder farmers worldwide. And by small, we're talking about, perhaps the size of a football pitch or maybe a couple football pitches. Not large, not mechanized. These farms make up 98% of the world's farms. So by far in the majority. Something that's not necessarily always obvious when you're traveling around UK countryside, but travel to the countries where we work in Kenya or East Africa more generally, and it is nearly every single farmer will be very small, non-mechanized, relying on family labor. This puts smallholder agriculture as hugely important in terms of one of the world's biggest employers, but also a massively integral part of our global food system. Smallholder agriculture touches all of us. If you enjoy a cup of coffee or if you enjoy chocolate, on average 9 out of 10 of those cups of coffee will have been hand-picked and grown on a smallholder farm. And that goes across so many different domains and so many different sectors, and is obviously incredibly important as well for the national food security of the countries where these farmers live. The other thing that people sometimes forget is the climate impact of agriculture. And that comes in a huge number of areas. A lot of agriculture is fundamentally driven by carbon. You look at how you create fertilizer, hugely carbon intensive industry. For these farmers to be able to understand how to better apply those inputs makes a massive impact not just on their productivity, but also in the efficiency of that input usage. You can drastically reduce the amount of wastage by applying things properly at the right time. So one of the big challenges is that these smallholder farmers require products and services just like any other farmer. So that might be agronomy, so they know what to grow and how to grow it, or inputs, things like fertilizer or pesticides to make sure they're productive and profitable. But a lot of these farmers don't have access to smartphones, have very limited or no access to the internet, and live maybe a couple miles walk away from the nearest agribusiness. So what we're trying to do at Climate Edge is to leverage, in some cases, the latest digital technologies, so things like machine learning to be able to create tailored advice for farmers, but also some bread and butter technologies like SMS that are available on any simple feature phone, things like your Nokia 5210 that these farmers do have, to be able to bridge that gap, to break down that disconnect and make sure that both the businesses and the farmers have access to the services and insights that they need in order to succeed. So that journey from us moving from academia to having a company was massively helped by the Imperial Climate Accelerator. We actually joined that pretty much straight after we founded the company, after leaving university, and have carried on our relationship with it for a number of years, and now actually are a mentor at that accelerator now. I think the thing to recognize is that journey is a journey. It's not easy, there's a huge amount to learn, but fundamentally, if you can focus on what your vision and what your mission is, think about how to create value and then have support from mentors, whether that's the coaches that have had a lot of experience, but also the other people on that same journey with you, other startups going through those experiences. That's what really we found both gives you a lot more confidence, but also really helps you focus your mind on what matters and what you should be doing on a day-to-day basis. So as a company, we're really orientating around that vision of creating a fair and sustainable future for global agriculture. And we believe the best way that we can achieve that as a team is by helping myriad of organizations, as I said, deliver high quality, impactful services and products to smallholder farmers. At the moment, we're at 500,000 farmers, there's 500 million worldwide. Our real goal is to reach scale and to make sure that we can create that value at a mass level. So at the moment, we're in Kenya, looking to expand into East Africa. We have worked in Central America and Asia, and we really want to make sure that this disconnect between businesses and farmers can be eliminated once and for all, and every farmer can access the services and the insights that they need in order to succeed. Something else we're really proud of is the increasing number of testimonials and recommendations that are coming from those customers using our platform, saying how we've changed the way they communicate with their farmers, they have a much deeper understanding of who their farmers are, and from the farmer's perspective, how happy they are with the quality of services that they're receiving.
He said it has been bad before. He said that this year has been better.
Okay, and what?
I think one of the most difficult things, you talk about what's the biggest challenge of having a startup, is that there isn't just one challenge. You have hundreds and hundreds of challenges and challenges, one after the other. What's super important is that focus on what your vision, what your mission is, and then prioritization. You simply don't have the resources or ability to do everything that you think you need, and you don't have the ability to solve every problem that comes your way. So really being able to build that culture within your team, so it's not just coming from one person, but from everyone, that understanding of where you're going and what is the most impactful thing that you can do every day to fundamentally help those farmers access insights and services and help those businesses deliver those products and services. That's really fundamentally the biggest thing you have to grapple with, and you have to carry on doing it. A quote that I really like that I received during the accelerator is, "It doesn't get easier, but you get better." And I think that mindset is really important. It's never simple, there's always a lot going on, but you get better at understanding which levers you have to pull, where you're trying to get to, and how you actually create that value.